Story to Part 1. My sister keeps on hitting on my boyfriend. I'm Amelia, and I've always believed there's a certain unspoken code between sisters, especially when it comes to dating. Like, you don't touch each other's snacks or each other's crushs. Pretty basic stuff, right? Well, apparently Jess missed that memo. It started small. I introduced her to Terry over dinner one night. She was polite, bubbly, the usual. But then I noticed the way her laugh got just a little too breathy. The way her eyes lingered on him like he was a Pinterest board come to life. Terry didn't seem to notice. Or at least, I told myself that. Then she started texting him. At first, it was innocent, memes, music recommendations. Just being friendly. Then came the time she accidentally tagged only him in a flirty TikTok. And the time she offered to drive him home when I had a headache and stayed at his place for tea and talking. My gut screaming ... But I didn't say anything because Jess is my sister and Terry's my boyfriend, right? Right? The breaking point came on a Sunday. I came over to Terry's apartment early, wanted to surprise him with breakfast and maybe a little something extra. I had a key. He gave it to me. Said I could come by whenever. So I did. And there they were. Not kissing. Not touching. Just sitting way too close on the couch, whispering like co-conspirators. She looked guilty. He looked caught. And I stood there holding a box of pastries and a heart that felt like it was sliding down a wall. So this is what tea and talking looks like? I asked. Neither of them answered. Jess got up. She didn't deny it. She just said, I didn't mean for it to happen like this. Which, as far as excuses go, is basically a signed confession with sprinkles of betrayal. The twist. 2 months later, they tried dating. It lasted exactly 19 days. Turns out, Terry wasn't the prize she thought he was. Without the thrill of sneaking around, he was just a guy who didn't know what he wanted and liked attention a little too much. Jess tried to apologize. She sent a long message about how she didn't understand what she had until she ruined it. She said I didn't deserve what happened and she was right. But here's the thing. I forgave her, not because she earned it, but because I refused to carry her mistake on my back for the rest of my life. I moved on. I learned. I healed. And next time I fall in love, it'll be with someone who sees me the way Terry never did. And it won't be someone my sister wants it to be, someone who only wants me. Story 2, Part 2. It had been almost a year. Jess and I had done the delicate dance of distant siblings, polite at birthdays, civil at Christmas, and mutually allergic to each other's social media posts. We weren't fighting anymore. But we definitely weren't sisters the way we used to be. It was like trying to tape a shattered glass back together and pretending it was fine to drink from. But then Jess called me. Out of the blue. No emoji. No you up. Just. Jess, I need to talk. It's about Tyler. Tyler, her new boyfriend. A real estate agent with a gym addiction and a smile that looked photoshopped in real life. She'd posted about him like he was the second coming of Chris Evans' perfect dates, matching outfits. My forever, she'd written under one photo. I didn't even like it. So when she said, I need to talk, I knew something was wrong. We met at a cafe neutral ground. No pastries this time. She looked tired. Not like I stayed up watching Netflix tired. More like I've been crying in my car listening to sad Taylor Swift tired. He cheated on me. Her voice was small, like she couldn't believe it even as she said it. With someone I trusted. And suddenly the universe hit reverse. I was her, she was me, and Tyler was the new Terry. Who? I asked, already knowing the answer in my gut. My best friend, Maya. She paused. You don't know her, but she knew everything about us. She acted like she cared. It was her turn now. To hold the heartbreak, to feel the rug pulled out from under her by someone she let too close. She looked at me, eyes glassy, and said something I never thought she would. I finally understand what I did to you. And in that moment, I had a choice. I could smile smugly. I could say karma's ABTCH, asterisk. I could walk away like she once did to me. But I didn't. I reached across the table, took her hand, and said, "Yeah, it sucks, doesn't it?" We both laughed, tired, awkward, but real. We weren't magically healed. We didn't start doing sister brunch or TikToks together. But that moment, it cracked the door open. Jess started showing up more, not just in texts, but as a real person. Apologizing not just for Terry, but for forgetting what we were supposed to be to each other. And me, I was already in a better place. New job, new confidence, and a new guy I met at a bookstore who asked me out because I was arguing with the barista over which Percy Jackson book was best. It's The Last Olympian, by the way. I was right. So yeah, Jess learned the hard way. And I learned that forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It just means you've grown too much to stay stuck in someone else's mess. And this time, I was the one holding the pastries. Subscribe for more stories. Story 2, Part 3. It was a rainy Thursday, the kind of day that smells like wet concrete and nostalgia. I was already cranky because I'd spilled coffee on my favorite book, Toad, and I was running late for my old friend Liv's birthday dinner. What I didn't expect was to walk into that rooftop bar and see him. Terry? Yep, that Terry. Sitting at the far end of the table, wearing that same leather jacket he wore back when he thought Spotify playlists counted as love letters. His hair was a little shorter. His smile still cocky, but when he saw me, it faltered. And then came the real twist. He was sitting next to Maya. Yes, that Maya. The same Maya who had torched Jess's relationship. Like it was a scented candle from hell. I didn't blink, didn't flinch, just smiled, slid into the seat across the table, and said, "Wow, the discount I Love Relationships really stays open." Heh. Maya blinked like she wasn't sure if it was an insult. It was. Terry cleared his throat and said, "Hey, Amelia, you look good." I smiled sweetly. I do, don't I? The night went on like a low-budget soap opera. They tried to act normal. I stayed icy cool, like I'd been trained by Taylor Swift and revenge plots. Then halfway through dessert, Terry followed me onto the patio. While I was on the phone with Jess, I hung up and turned to him. "You miss me or something." He hesitated. "I messed up back then. You were the real thing." Wow, that only took, what? A year, a fake soulmate, and a betrayal pyramid scheme. He laughed nervously. "You ever think about us?" I leaned in just a little. "Yeah. And then I remember you let my sister fall for you while you couldn't even decide on a shampoo brand. That was the last time I ever saw him." He and Maya didn't last. Obviously. Jess and I, though, we were doing better than ever. We still argued over dumb stuff like who would host Thanksgiving or who looked better in emerald green answer, me. But she showed up. She tried. She meant it. And me, I was with someone new. His name was Noah. He liked museums, used bookstores, and me, all of me. Without comparison, without competition, without confusion. He knew about the Terry saga, about Jess, about the time I cried in a McDonald's drive-thru over a Happy Meal toy because he had texted me. Good luck with everything. Like my heart was a LinkedIn profile. Subscribe for more stories. Story 2, Part 4. 2 years later, I was standing in front of a mirror in the most perfect dress I'd ever worn. Elegant, sleek, with pockets blessed be, and just enough sparkle to make the sun feel jealous. Today was my wedding day. No chaos, no drama, no second guessing. Just me and Noah, the guy who never made me feel like I had to compete with anyone, ever. He didn't just love me, he chose me every day, like it was his favorite habit. My sister Jess was my maid of honor. Yeah, Jess, time's a weird thing, right? Somewhere between therapy, iced coffee peace treaties, and crying together over reruns of Gilmore Girls, we got back to us. She earned her way into my trust again, not with apologies, but with consistency. When I asked her to be my maid of honor, she cried harder than I did when Noah proposed. And then came the curveball. 3 days before the wedding, Maya messaged me. Hey, I heard you're getting married. Can we talk? I know I don't deserve an invite, but I stared at my phone. Jess, standing behind me, caught the look on my face. Let me guess she wants to come. She says she's changed. Jess scoffed. So did Voldemort. We both laughed, but my brain kept spiraling. A tiny, vindictive part of me wanted to invite her just to show her how much better my life turned out. But the stronger part, the healed part, that part had a better idea. I sent her a reply. Thanks for reaching out. I hope you're doing well. But this day is about love and the people who helped me get here. Let's both move forward, just not together. Send, block, release. The wedding. Perfect, absolutely freaking Pinterest perfect. Jess gave a speech that made everyone cry and laugh and cry again. Noah couldn't stop staring at me like I hung the moon with my bare hands. And as we danced under fairy lights, with our favorite song playing and a slice of lemon cake in my hand, I looked around and realized every person here, they saw me, the real me, not someone's second choice, not someone's background character, not someone's stepping stone. Me, Amelia, the main character. Later that night, Jess pulled me aside. You know, she said, I used to think you were just stronger than me. But it's not that. You just never stopped believing you deserved better, even when people like me made you doubt it. I hugged her. I didn't always believe it, but now I do. And that's what matters, because some stories don't end with revenge or regret. Comment if you want a part 5 or a new story.